In this episode, we're looking at the Chermare Oyogase rod, designed to make Oyogase or live baiting a much more comfortable experience for anglers. It might be the first time hearing the word Oyogase for many anglers out there. After all, it is a Japanese word. Oyogase in its literal form means to let it swim. This loosely translates to the live bait fishing technique, where the angler lets the live bait swim around to lure the big fish in. If you haven't guessed it already, the Chermare Oyogase rod is a boat rod specifically for electric reel fishing. The live bait technique is the most used when it comes to electric reel fishing. But did you know there are generally two types of Oyogase techniques? These two techniques are the drift Oyogase technique and the vertical Oyogase technique. Both have different setups, and each has its own pros and cons. Generally, the vertical Oyogase technique has a sinker placed along the fluoro leader. This helps sink your bait to the bottom. The main difference is the target column. Vertical Oyogase is more widely used to search mid to bottom columns, while the drift Oyogase is used to search for mid to top water columns. In drifting Oyogase, it is less tiring when you get a strike because of how the angle of the rod is relative to the live bait. You are fighting the fish across an angled distance instead of dragging it up from the lower water columns. You are also able to cover a wider range of area with your live bait. However, this style of fishing also means that there isn't a lot of space for everyone on the boat to do the same. Imagine if there were 5 people on board and everyone decided to use the drifting technique. That's just a line crossing nightmare waiting to happen. Using the vertical Oyogase technique, you will be able to search the bottom columns quickly because of the sinker attached. It also offers more access to all the water columns instead of just mid to top water columns, as in the drifting technique. With the sinker, you can search the top, the middle, and the bottom water columns. The thing about the vertical Oyogase technique that is less desired is that any strikes you usually get are directly below you. The bending of the rod will be something like this, as compared to the drifting technique, which looks something like this. So you can imagine the amount of power and stamina you need to lift the fish vertically up rather than horizontally in. It is very different. But because of the nature of vertical technique, you can enjoy doing this with more friends on board and not have to worry about line troubles at all. It keeps your quarters tighter. Now, ultimately, the one doing the pulling will be your electric reel. However, your rod is what helps you control the range of where the fish can swim. Let's see why the Chermare Oyogase is a perfect fit for the Oyogase technique. Starting off with the blanks, we have the double X structure, which uses the combo of the spiral X core and high power X for the blank construction. This significantly improves the blank's ability to resist two main forces, which usually cause rods to break: twisting and rotational forces when the fish decides to go berserk under the water, and crushing forces when the fish is trying to dive under. But with electric reels being developed stronger and stronger, such as with the Beastmaster MD 12000, rods will also have to keep up. This is why Shimano introduced the MuscleCore technology in the Chermare Oyogase. The MuscleCore technology is a carbon core placed here, where the rod butt connects to the front grip of the rod. This reinforces this section, the rod butt, which is the most strained during fish fights. At the same time, this reinforcement does not take away any of the rod's bending strength, giving you the reassurance that the rod will not break even with the Beastmaster MD 12000 attached. Even though the blanks and butt have been reinforced, the tip is not made too stiff. Without this softness in the tip, the rod could easily tear the hook off from your live bait. Even if your hook does stay on the live bait, it won't be able to swim as naturally to cover more area under the water because it would have been restricted by the stiff tip. So remember, this softness is crucial in live bait or Oyogase techniques. Now, is a strong blank and a soft tip enough to make this rod perfect? I wouldn't say so. If the blank of the Chermare Oyogase was the engine of a car, then the bottom section here would be its suspension system. Let's take a closer look. When you get that strike and start fighting the fish, the bottom of the rod becomes the main support point, and you are a human that's going to eventually land the fish. Shimano has thoughtfully designed the bottom to be anti-slip with the enlarged and flattened rubber padding. The shape has been designed to sit snug beneath your belly. This angle makes sure that you don't feel any discomfort during fish fights, especially when you lift the rod up like this. The Chermare Oyogase also pairs well with electric reels of different sizes. It happens a lot, during fish fights or after, that the reel becomes slightly loose. With Shimano's aluminum reel seat, the part where the reel foot sits has been flattened for stronger holding power. A cushion is used to reduce the rattling of the reel and prevent scratches. And the shape of the nut that secures the reel has been improved to make it easier to tighten. Lastly, the Chermare Oyogase rod comes with a double nut feature to keep the reel firmly in place after tightening both nuts. Whether it's a small size 3000 Beastmaster MD or the larger size 12,000 Beastmaster MD, they will surely sit firmly on the rod without loosening, even after fish fights. A clamp is commonly used in electric reel fishing to tightly grab hold of the rod while waiting for a strike. Sometimes, when the fish comes up to the surface, they will go berserk and try to shake the hook off or dive down deep again. This may cause the rod holder to lose its grip on the rod's hold position. The Chermare Oyogase rod has its hold position designed with an increased diameter along with these grooves here to allow for firmer gripping when using a rod holder. So small tip here for Oyogase techniques, right? This is something I learned from one of our Japanese instructors, Takahashi Tetsuya-san. To increase the cover area of the live bait without compromising its swimming action, adjust the motor speed just enough so that your line just starts to being retrieved. This constantly makes the fish swim in your direction so you can sweep more area for your catch. At the same time, make sure that you can easily pull the line out with your hand, because you will still want the fish to be able to swim as freely and naturally as possible. Lastly, look at this hard case. It comes with the Chermare Oyogase, so traveling with this rod is made easy and breezy. Perfect for anglers who love to go on overseas expeditions. The case also serves as a practical rod case, accommodating multiple rods if needed. And most importantly, it's airline checking compliant. No more travel hassles. So, whether you use the drifting technique or the vertical technique, this is a rod you can rely on. From top to bottom, the Chermare Oyogase is equipped with features and technology you will thoroughly enjoy using in both standing and holding positions. What fish do you think you'll be targeting with this rod? Let me know in the comments section down below.